Welcome back to Wegyanik. Till now, we have already learned about many sensors and basic components using the ESP32 and the OLED display. So today, we are going to start a fun mini project using the same components we already know, the car avoid game. In this project, we'll control a small car using 2 buttons, and we'll avoid obstacles falling from the top of the screen. Let's start building. Now, let's make the circuit. Now, we will place the ESP32 in this way, so we can plug wires on both sides. Now, we will place 2 push buttons like this, which will move the car left and right. Then, we will place our OLED display like this. Then, we will connect a wire from the ESP32, 3.3 volts pin, to the OLED VCC pin. Then, connect ground to ground. Then, connect SCL to D22. And finally, SDA to D21. Then, we will connect the left push button's left pin to D32. And the right push button's left pin will be connected to D33. Then, connect the right pins of both buttons to the ESP32 ground. Now, our circuit is complete. You can also take a screenshot of it. Now just connect it with PC. Now, just open the Arduino IDE and copy the code from the website. Now let's quickly understand how this game code works. First, we include the OLED libraries and create a display object for a 128 by 64 screen. We connect SDA to pin 21 and SCL to pin 22. Then we use 2 buttons on pin 32 and pin 33. These buttons move our car left and right on the screen. Then in the game there are 3 lanes. We store their X positions in an array, 16, 56, 96. Car lane tells which lane the car is in, 0, 1 or 2. The car is drawn near the bottom of the screen. Then an obstacle car comes from the top in a random lane. It moves downward using a variable called obstacle speed, and its position is stored in obstacle Y. Then the reset game function puts the car back in the middle lane, resets the obstacle, sets the speed to 2, sets the score to 0, and clears the game over flag. Then in the setup function, we start the serial monitor, set both button pins as input pull-up, and start I2C with pins 21 and 22. Then we begin the OLED display with the correct address. If the display is not found, we print an error on the serial monitor. Next, we show a start screen that says, car avoid game, and press any button. The code waits in a loop until we press either the left or the right button. After we press a button, we call reset game to start. Now in loop, if game over is true, we call show game over, which shows the final score and waits for a button to restart. Then in button handling, in handle input, we check the state of both buttons. The buttons are active low, which means when we press the button the pin reads low. If the left button is pressed and the car is not already at the leftmost lane, we move the car 1 lane to the left. If the right button is pressed and the car is not already at the rightmost lane, we move the car 1 lane to the right. We also add a small delay after each button pressed to avoid multiple jumps due to bouncing. Then in update game, the obstacle Y position is increased by obstacle speed, so the obstacle moves downward on the screen. When the obstacle goes out of the screen, we move it back to the top by setting its Y position above the screen, choose a new random lane, and increase our score. After every 5 points, we slightly increase the speed of the obstacle, to make the game harder over time. We also check for collision. If the obstacle is at almost the same height as the car, and the obstacle lane is equal to the car lane, we set game over to true. Then in draw game, we first clear the display. Then we draw vertical lines to show the 3 lanes. After that, we draw the car. We draw a rectangle for the car body, another small rectangle for the roof, and 2 filled circles for the wheels. The X position of the car comes from the current car lane. We draw the obstacle car as a small filled rectangle, in the lane given by obstacle lane, at the Y position obstacle Y. Finally, we print the score at the top left corner of the screen, and then we call display.display to update the OLED. Then in the last and show game over, we clear the screen, set a bigger text size, and print game over in the center. We show the final score, and a line that says, press any button. Then the code waits in a loop until we press one of the buttons. After that, we add a small delay and call reset game so that the player can start again with a fresh game. Now upload the code to your ESP32 board and press the reset button. Press left button to move car left. Press right button to move car right. Avoid falling obstacles to score points. When the car hits an obstacle, the screen shows game over and your score. And that's how we make a car avoid game using ESP32 and an OLED 0.96-inch display. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment.